Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Devin here from Anyone Outdoors. You can see right behind me, just over my left shoulder, I found a couple of poles. I didn't cut them or anything like that. They're totally unmodified. And I did a quick shear lash that's just a little bit over my head. You know, the apex is just a little taller than I am. And with the ridge pole on top, it's a little taller yet. So let's take another look. All right, so this is an improvised tripod, but the top stick is not lashed into it. And again, it's about maybe 6 feet tall, maybe a little more at the apex. And as we just kind of walk around here, this just gives you a quick idea of what you could very quickly put up in about 5 minutes or so, given that you have enough deadfall that's appropriate. I mean, this ridge pole could definitely be a little straighter, but this is something that you could very quickly drape a square tarp over and have a brace for a plow point, for example. Now, just as an example of another improvised structure you could use, what I've done here is went with a shorter bipod with a ridge pole that's lashed to a tree right there. In this case right here, I've used a square lash. You can also use a diagonal lash and that kind of thing. And I would encourage you guys to do your own research on different lashing techniques. But you can see here that you can very quickly put up something that you could drape a tarp over or something like that really quick. You could also go with a pair of bipods, one right here and one at the other end. But this is just an alternative to that kind of thing. So to wrap things up on this really short video, for those of you that just haven't gotten around to trying lashing techniques, I think it really is a really great avenue to explore. There's nothing wrong with running a ridge line at all. Ridge lines are very quick, they're easy, they require very low energetic expenditure. This is a little more, but I do think gaining some experience with lashing is, I believe it really is kind of like a gateway to a whole other menu of options out in the woods. Basically, not only can you put up things that you can use to support tarps and that kind of thing, you also get into being able to create somewhere to sit or somewhere to lay down, these kinds of things. So definitely you've got to get your feet wet with the lashing thing, and this is just sort of an introduction to it. I don't want to get into lashing. There's too many great videos about how to do lashings. I'm not going to cover that again here, but if for some odd reason you see this video before you see some other videos that cover this, this is definitely worth getting some real experience with. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here and recover my cordage here. Oh, one final note. I did want to mention the fact, if I didn't already mention it, I didn't do any cutting today, right? I found what was on the ground as it was, and what I would do is just prop up the poles and cross them at a height that I wanted to work with. Again, I had one that was just a little over 6 feet tall. This one is maybe about 3 feet tall, and you can take different length poles and just cross them at your desired height and just lash them from that point. So with that said, that's a wrap on the video. I always appreciate it whenever you guys stop by, and keep an eye out for the next one. Thanks.